My name is Ella Hayward, my mob is Jawoyn, and my Indigenous heritage is on my dad's side. NAIDOC Week kind of provides an opportunity for people to start conversations with each other, and for young people to see different, Indigenous Australians, through social media or through televised sports games and Indigenous rounds and things like that. And I think NAIDOC Week, it really starts the conversation for that, and it's really, really exciting. And yeah, I think as much as we can as Indigenous Australians, put ourselves out there and not be afraid to have the conversation, and know that we can be proud of who we are and where we come from. It means a lot to be Indigenous Australian. Obviously, it's such an honour to represent my culture, and it's a big part of where I come from and my family. So it's really nice to have that connection and that history within my family. And I've learned a lot about it over the years, and I still have a long way to go and so much to learn, which is really exciting. But it's always really nice connecting with my family and learning more about where I come from and what it means to be Indigenous, and be a proud Indigenous Australian. The purpose of NAIDOC Week is to really have that celebration and recognition for people, coming through, but also the people before us and our history. And yeah, I think it's so cool to see Australians and particularly athletes, get such recognition for being Indigenous and where they come from. And some of them go through so much adversity to get where they are today, and it's really cool to see the different themes and the different celebration for different people from different walks of life. And it's a really fun week, and I'm really proud to represent my culture in NAIDOC Week. Especially the next generation, obviously being a young athlete, and I've been playing cricket professionally from a very young age. I think it's very cool to kind of have that being the next generation being a theme for this year, and really hopefully inspire some young kids coming through, whether that's through sport or not. But obviously I've done many clinics and seen lots of young kids try out cricket, and they're really good at it, and they've never really done it before. And I think it's just that theme of, people coming through and young people learning more about themselves and their futures and what they can become. And I think that's really exciting, and it's really cool to see the next generation coming through and give them the opportunity to learn more about themselves and their culture. And the only way you can do that is through conversation, and along the way they learn about strength and how strong they are and their cultures. And yeah, it's really exciting. I think the biggest thing is conversation, and I think the more media and support that we can have around Indigenous Australians is huge. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for Indigenous people is actually to get the chance to connect with each other. Obviously going on the PNG tour was something really exciting for me, and I was able to kind of learn more about other people's cultures and learn kind of the importance of conversation, and I think that's a really big thing. I think a moment like Ash presenting Hannah's Australian cap, I think to me that's something that's really inspiring. And I think for young, not only Indigenous Australians, but young kids in general, it's quite an inspiring thing. And I think it was really cool to see. And I think it kind of shows the importance of connection and culture. And I can only imagine how Hannah felt in that moment as well. And I think it's such an important thing to have Indigenous role models. And, Ash is such a massive role model for young Australians and particularly Indigenous Australians. I know she was, a massive role model for me in cricket, but in culture as well. And as I've learnt more about my culture and done more games through Big Bash and all those things, that seeing her really represent where she comes from has helped me kind of do the same thing. And I think it can help a lot of young Indigenous Australians that are coming through cricket be inspired by that, and it can be a goal for them to hopefully play for Australia one day, and not only that, actually be recognised by another Indigenous Australian. And I think that's really cool, and hopefully something I get to do someday. And I'm sure there'll be other young kids that feel the same way. So yeah, it was a really cool moment in cricketing history and Indigenous culture, and hopefully there's many more to come.